The venue for the investigative hearing is filled to capacity with top government officials in attendance. An ad hoc committee of the House of Representatives is investigating the disappearance, reappearance, reinstatement and promotion of the former chairman of the Pension Reform Task Force, Abdul Rashid Maina.
Unveiling the actors and the role in the said reinstatement and the promotion vis-à-vis public service rule. Determining the legality or otherwise of the action or inaction of individuals or organizations.
One after the other, the officials state their roles in the matter and distance themselves from some aspects.
He now sent the third letter to us, directing and telling us, first of all, that he is the chief legal officer of the country and that the basis of our dismissing Maina cannot stand because the case, the judge of High Court in Nigeria has quashed the warrant of arrest. The Minister of Interior met through the ISSC and recommended that Maina be reinstated. They are the people who recommended in the first instance that should be dismissed. Now they are not recommending that. So we look at it and we say, it's okay, we approved your recommendation that Maina be reinstated. But we didn't reinstate him on level 17. He was reinstated on the level he was dismissed.
When I got hold of that letter of reinstatement, I held on to the letter because I needed some more clarification on that letter. So I was surprised to find that without being given without being officially conveyed the letter of his reinstatement or any letter of posting whatsoever, the said Mr. Maina was absorbed into the Ministry of Interior.
My position is as at 21st February 2017, Maina's issue, which has been confirmed by subsequent correspondence in my file, was indeed a work in progress. So the letter giving specific and clear directives couldn't have genuinely emanated from my office. That is my position.
Lawyer to the man at the center of the saga shocks everyone with his own position.
Emoluments were paid to him.
When?
Till when? He's still receiving salaries and emoluments.
We will show you, you will advance documents for you to show. If you want a categorical answer, I will tell you yes.
Up to October.
So it is not true for anybody from anywhere to state that Maina was dismissed. By implication, he is and he remains a staff, a civil servant.
The Attorney General also opens another can of worms when he reveals the existence of a pension fraud syndicate.
The fact remains clear that there exists a pension fund fraud syndicate in Nigeria. The syndicate includes highly placed retired and current political office holders and retired serving senior civil servants, inclusive of legislators. So, in essence, pension fraud was perpetrated by public officials to siphon colossal amounts in conjunction with and with the active connivance of the Nigerian Union of Pensioners, Director of Pension Accounts, State Pension Boards, and the Association of Federal Public Service Retirees, among others. So proceeds of the fraud are usually shared among the members of the syndicate. Mr. Maina has been part of the syndicate, that I have to admit, arising from the investigation at our disposal, but things fell apart between him and the syndicate, and he allegedly left the shores of Nigeria of an alleged threat to his life.
The investigation is to continue next week, and the committee is looking forward to hear from the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Interior, from officials of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, and hopefully the man at the center of the whole saga, the former chairman of the Pension Task Force himself. Meanwhile, the Senate has launched a probe into the sale of recovered pension assets allegedly sold to government officials and their associates at undervalued prices. The assets include 222 properties, including houses and hotels in several parts of Nigeria, and an unstated number of luxury vehicles which were recovered by the Abdul Rashid Maina-led task force and handed over to the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. Lanre Lasese, Channels Television News.
Well, that's where we're keeping our focus this morning, the Mainagate, and of course you just saw how the House of Representatives committee set up the probe that has been able to reveal some very interesting intrigues to this. Joining us to look at this is Mr. Muyiwa Sobo, is a legal practitioner. I want to thank you so much indeed for coming on Sunrise Daily today.
Thanks for having me. Good morning.
Now, just listening to that report, it does seem to suggest that this revolves a lot around the AGF himself and that letter that emanated from his office, though he said that he did not personally send in that letter. Then people will begin to wonder if he himself is actually in control of that, of his own office, and by extension, does he have the capacity or the powers to give directives at the ministerial levels?
Well, again, good morning and thanks for having me. I think as Nigerians, this morning we should all be first be sad and then be ashamed of what is happening over there in Asrock within this administration, because clearly, and thank goodness, thank for the House of Reps hearing, it is clear that there's impunity going on, there's corruption going on, and there's incompetence. Now that's a serious mix. When you mix those three together, then, and I'm saying to the president, if you still have anything worth salvaging of your legacy, you need to step up to the plate now and do something about this. How do you imagine the Attorney General of the nation, of the country, coming forward and say, a letter did not come from here, sir. It did not emanate. That is from his office on something as serious as bringing a fugitive back into the service. And he's unashamedly went to this hearing saying, it didn't come from my office. I mean, it came from my office, I didn't know about it. Hey, right there and about, I think he needs to just kind of step aside for someone to actually look into this allegation and say, investigate what is going on. How dare he? And I think it's disrespectful to us as citizens. It is an insult to us. And any Nigerian watching that is not upset by that, I don't know what they're looking at. This is the chief law enforcement officer of the country. Beyond, and I asked the question before, what is it between the AG and Maina? That, I mean, what's going on? And Nambazao